Hello everyone, Aidan here from Push Square, and this is your weekly roundup of news within the world of PlayStation, along with the latest reviews published on pushsquare.com and the latest releases heading to your PS5 this week. Anyway, let's get into it. We're wasting no time at all with our 10 biggest stories. We're starting out with a rumour. Polish outlet PPE has claimed that Sony is on its way to releasing a revised version of the DualSense controller with a removable and replaceable battery. Now, this is the outlet that claimed that Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 was imminently about to release on the PS5, which turned out to be true. We covered that last week. Now, this would be a first for a PlayStation controller and a welcome addition, I think, considering the controller batteries aren't really the best with all of the haptic feedback. Next up, the PS5 Slim is keeping the same price, but everything else about it is actually cheaper. Now, this is a new model revision available in Europe right now, but tech YouTuber Austin Evans managed to get his hand on a model where he said that most of the changes were actually smartly done, but one of the big differences was that the internal SSD had been reduced from 1TB to 825 gigs. This is roughly what the original storage of the original full-fat PS5 was, but it's obviously a bit of a disappointment to see this decrease considering the price is remaining the same. Insider Gaming reported this week that Sony is winding down support on the PlayStation 4. Documentation acquired by Insider Gaming reported stats that any game submitted for release after spring of 2026 would no longer have access to services that are designed to provide a more unified and scalable foundation across console generations. That's including things like word filters and shared media web API. Now, we're 5 years into the PlayStation 5 generation, and with word of the PS6 just 2 to 3 years away, this isn't too surprising. Next up, PlayStation Studios celebrated the launch of Ghost of Yotei with developers like Naughty Dog, Guerrilla Games, Santa Monica Studios releasing their own custom artwork, along with some in-game Easter eggs for games like Astrobot. Sticking with Yotei, Sucker Punch's latest has reportedly sold really well in the UK physical market. It debuted at number 1 ahead of EA Sports FC 26 and Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 on the Switch 1 and 2. This is according to Game Business's Chris Dring. Now, it is reported that these numbers, this debut was 40% below that of the launch of Tsushima. However, with the continuing shift towards digital sales, the physical sales here are only part of the picture. Now, we obviously don't know how well it is sold far and wide across digital and physical sales, but of course this is still a good sign that the game's doing quite well. We'll obviously need to wait to see if any official word comes out on how many units it's sold across the board. Bloober Team has essentially passed the buck when it comes to its Silent Hill 2 PS5 Pro Enhanced version. Now, this launched last year and a lot of people had some issues with it. There were shimmering effects caused by PSSR integration, and while at the time Bloober had said it was working with the publisher to address the issue, it has since said that publishing matters are handled by Konami. Now, this comes after iffy versions of Silent Hill F and Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, other Konami published titles that actually ran worse on the PS5 Pro. So that's not really giving any hint to whether we'll be getting a fix anytime soon. But sticking with this game, its console exclusivity is due to end on October 8th, marking a full year since its launch. That means that we should expect announcements regarding Xbox Series X and S and potentially Nintendo Switch 2 ports. Now, one of the big stories of the week actually comes from Xbox land. Of course, we had Game Pass double in price over in the US, up to $30, but now speculation is rife that it has cancelled its next-gen consoles, potentially leaving PS6 unopposed next generation. Sneakers Soul originally broke Microsoft's plans to go multi-plat and is now claiming that the future generation is up in the air. The focus is going to be on publishing games across all platforms and using Game Pass as a sort of Trojan horse for cloud gaming. Now, Microsoft has come out to say since that we are actively investing in our future first-party consoles and devices designed, engineered and built by Xbox. Now, I'm partial to say that an unopposed generation is actually a bad thing for the PlayStation 6 and players in general, so it'll be interesting to see how this one develops. But I think you get things like an overpriced PlayStation 5 Pro because Xbox isn't releasing a counterpart mid-gen upgrade. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting generation. Just a little extra one here mid-edit, but PlayStation the concert appears to have had a number of its US tours cancelled, seemingly because of low ticket sales. Now we don't know for sure. This is based on VGC's findings that just about every US tour date has been scrapped for the rest of 2025, with ticket holders only just finding out about the cancellations via email. I went to one of these concerts earlier in the year here in the UK, and even that one, there was severely lacking attendance with that thing. We got moved way to the front. A whole bunch of the stadium that we were in was cornered off because just the tickets didn't sell that well, so I'm not too surprised hearing about this here. Oblivion Remastered's physical PS5 release will supposedly require an internet connection. The physical release is due to drop on October 13th, but as spotted by social media lad Wario64, the box art includes a tag stating internet required. Now this could be alluding to the DLC of various weapons and armors that you do need to download, but Microsoft and Bethesda does have a pretty terrible track record for physical releases, shortchanging players with releases that include a fraction of the game's data on the disc. We'll need to see how this one plays out though when it launches on the 13th. And lastly, Control Ultimate Edition has received a free update on PS5 which unlocks the frame rate, provides HDR support, VRR support, and 120Hz output support. But on top of that, you're also getting PSSR with a PS5 Pro Enhanced version. But interestingly, off the back of Silent Hill 2, the patch notes do mention that PSSR can slightly impact performance, so you'll need to check that one out to see how good it is. But this is already a great looking game, so all of these updates, even just on the base PS5, are more than welcome. Okay, let's move over to the world of reviews. We've had a fairly quiet week actually, just 4 reviews this week on pushsquare.com, starting with Pac-Man World 2 Repack. This was reviewed by Brett Posner-Ferdman, who called it a fine remake that won't set the world on fire, awarding it a 6 out of 10. Dying Light the Beast, we finally got our updated fully scored review. That one was done by me actually, and I called it the series at its best. I had a really good time with this one and gave it an 8 out of 10. Digimon Storytime Stranger was reviewed by Robert Ramsey, who gave it a 6 out of 10, calling it a monster-taming RPG that squanders so much potential. And lastly, Dreams of Another, the big disappointment of the week. Stephen Tailby gave it a 4 out of 10, calling it a disjointed and abstract curio. Now let's move over to the 5 big releases of the week. We've got Yuka Replay. Am I saying that right? PS5 anyway. This one's coming to PS5 on October 9th. Absalom on PS4 and 5 October 9th. Little Nightmares 3 on PS4 and 5 October 10th. Battlefield 6 is dropping on PS5 October 10th. And the aforementioned Dreams of Another, also October 10th. In addition though, you've also got your monthly collection of PS Plus Essential games dropping on Tuesday the 7th. Your 3 entries this week are Alan Wake 2, Goat Simulator 3 and Cocoon. Alan Wake 2 is one of the best games of this generation. Please do check it out. So that is it, your roundup of the world of PlayStation for the latest week. This is obviously a new format, so do let me know down in the comments what you would like to hear more of, hear a little less of. What would you like included in this? I really do want to make this the best and most useful roundup for you guys on a weekly basis. I like to keep them short and succinct, but I want that information to hit for you guys. So let me know what you're looking for down in the comments below, and while you're there, I really would appreciate it if you like the video. That helps us out, and even better if you subscribe to the channel if you're looking for more PlayStation video content just like this. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I've been Aaron and this has been Push Square.